Hello there. I'm Tommy. Welcome to Blitz Transmissions. This is the Blitzcast, episode 9. Before we get into the content of today's episode, make sure to check out all the links in the description below, that being my Instagram page, my collection page, Blitz Bounties for my Instagram as well, where I kind of show off all my pickups. Make sure to check out my X page, which I just started a couple weeks ago. If you're a Twitter person, now known as X, you can find me there now. And then also make sure to check out my Discord. If you want to have some more in-depth Star Wars conversations, definitely check out the Discord. It's a really fun place. I have a solo episode today, so real quick, just a couple housekeeping things. This past week we had Halloween, so as you can see behind me, we are now officially in Christmas mode if you're watching this as opposed to listening to this. So because of that, I want to wish everyone a belated happy Halloween, and we are officially in Christmas mode now. So look forward to. I posted a few things on the YouTube channel and on my Blitz Bounties Instagram for Christmas stuff already. So, it's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite season. I pretty much start, decorating and celebrating it, as soon as Halloween's over. So that's something fun that I do. And something that you should know about me. I'm a huge Christmas nut. And anything where I can put Star Wars and Christmas together, I will absolutely do. Like I said, I'm riding solo today. No Logan, no Jen, no hybrid even. And the reason for that this week is because I'm really just going to be doing a shorter episode anyway, just covering the Skeleton Crew trailer that dropped just today as of the recording of this episode, as well as a new character poster and movie poster for the or I guess not movie poster. I guess it's a poster for the series, but movie style poster for the series. And I gotta say, I've got some thoughts about it, but my preliminary thoughts on it are, dude, I'm finally anticipating this show. All this time, I was not anticipating Skeleton Crew, and here I am. I'm finally having some sort of feelings for it. But aside from that, again, just make sure to check out the links in the description below. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Let's get right into the Skeleton Crew discussion here. So, first and foremost, again, just to reiterate the point that I just made, I'm so anticipating this show. What happened? Where did this come from? Because up until now, from the very original, I remember there was Kathleen Kennedy. It might have been San Diego Comic-Con maybe a couple years ago now. This is when they did a lot of things, like they announced, I think they announced Rogue Squadron. They announced Rangers of the New Republic. They announced all these different series and things like that. And, I remember seeing Skeleton Crew, some more famously, kind of thrown on the back burner projects being Lando, the Droids series that we never heard anything about. But yeah, this was one of them. And I remember being like, nah, Skeleton Crew. Originally, I thought it was going to be an animated show, and now here we are. We found out earlier this year that this show was going to begin on December 3rd of 2024, and from the trailer, we now know that's actually a 2-episode premiere. I'm here for it. I love when they do multi-episode kind of launches for the shows. It gives the audience more of a chance to get invested in the characters and the story. So I'm always, 100% in on doing the multi-episode premieres. As far as the execution of the trailer goes, though, dude, they needed this trailer, in my opinion, because I know so many people, especially coming off of The Acolyte, which everyone knows how much of a hot topic The Acolyte was and still is for some people. The Acolyte really, I think, had people, on both the Star Wars shill side and the Star Wars hater side, kind of apprehensive towards Skeleton Crew. We knew it was a show about kids. We knew it was going to be geared towards kids. So already you're kind of like, especially as an adult fan, you're like, nah. The last thing I watched that is in the canon timeline that was geared towards kids was Star Wars Resistance, and Star Wars Resistance is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's definitely a kids show. There's a lot of slapstick comedy, and if you're not prepared to be, as an adult fan, gripping the bottom of your seat hoping and praying that Niku doesn't slip and fall on nothing again, then you should not watch the show. So I watched it once, and I'm going to be watching it again with Jen. That's the next Star Wars thing we have to watch together, and I've been purposefully putting it off because I just am not looking forward to it. But who knows? Maybe I'll really surprise myself. It's been a few years since I watched Resistance. So, but aside from that tangent, as far as Skeleton Crew goes, again, they really needed this trailer. I really don't know anyone, I don't know anybody that was like outwardly excited to watch this show or looking forward to watching this show. As a Star Wars fan, I was going to watch it either way, just to give it a chance for the one time. And then if I didn't enjoy it, it was going to be whatever, on to the next. But dude, this trailer came out, and I'm like, whoa, this was fun. This show looks fun. There seems to be a very clear plot, a very clear direction, a very clear vibe. It's not just a bunch of shots that are just kind of sizzle reeled together, one after the other. It seems like a cohesive story and a cohesive. I understand what the general plot of this show is going to be about, and I am so here for it. And it makes me really, really excited for what's to come with this show. I already can tell I'm going to really like the characters. And again, maybe some of these feelings, maybe I'm being a little too nice, being a little too excitable, because I just rewatched The Goonies the other day. The Goonies, if you don't know, is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. And when I do my top 3 movies, Star Wars is not even in my top 3 movies. But The Goonies is somewhere up there, and I just rewatched it, and now this trailer comes out not even a week later, and I'm like, dude, this is Goonies vibes in Star Wars. It feels so 80s, and it's very, very on the nose 80s in some way, because, well, for one, they played Major Tom, except all the words are sung in Huttese. I thought that was interesting, and to my knowledge, definitely let me know if I'm wrong in the comment sections if you're watching or listening on a platform that has comments. Let me know if this. I'm pretty sure this is the first time, aside from the Acolyte end credit song, that we had literally just a straight up American song Earth song that was just made into, like, just all the words were just taken from English and put into Star Wars language, in this case Huttese. To my knowledge, it's Huttese. And that, again, it was like, okay, wait, it's familiar, but it's not. That's kind of how I feel about this whole show. I am a little bit worried, and I was worried when we saw the last trailer, like kind of like the teaser trailer, that this show will feel a little too earthy just in those opening scenes. Specifically with Aden, I think is the name of the planet that they all start on, where the kids are all from. I do seek some concern for myself, just feeling like I'm not in it right away, just because of how much like California suburbia it looks like when they're going to their houses and stuff, and the cars on the rails and things like that. It just feels very American suburbia, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that watching the show. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I really end up enjoying it and that they do it in a tasteful way. But the vibe of this show feels very tasteful. It feels very genuine. I feel passion bleeding out of the trailer, and I hope that I'm not misled by that. I hope that it ends up being just as passionate in the actual project itself as I felt from the trailer today. It was just so many moments with the kids just talking to each other. The first scene, you have kind of, I don't know if they're in detention or if they're like, in jail, and like, or if the police had to come pick them up and they're waiting at the station for their parents to come get them. You have Wim is the boy, and then the girl is Fern. I don't know why I was under the impression that Fern was going to be the main character. It seems like Wim is going to be the main character. And again, I should probably mention, if you want to check out the poster, it's pretty much everywhere. If you have Star Wars on either YouTube or Instagram or whatever, Twitter or X, I guess it's now, you can go check out the poster. They've posted it everywhere. So, and I know Skeleton Crew has its own set of social media pages as well, like official ones. So you can check out the new poster that came out today, and I'm referencing that off screen here. Just kind of glancing at it a few times. So Wim is the boy in the center of the poster here, and then to his right is Fern, and it seems like they don't really know each other, but I am assuming somehow they all know each other through the neighborhood, because then we have Neil is the alien. I've seen some argument on whether he's an Ortolan or not. I've seen argument as to him not being, because it doesn't exactly look like it. It might just be another blue elephant species. I've also heard arguments that he's not. It would be kind of a bummer, in my opinion, if he's not an Ortolan, or maybe a hybrid, of an Ortolan and something else. And I think the other girl's name is KD. I could be wrong about that, but I believe her name is just KD. But it looks like a fun little group of kids. And again, they look more Star Wars in the show than we recently saw factory leaks of their action figures, and then in the last week or two we saw official reveals for the action figures, and they did not make me excited for the show. The action figures did not, because I just was. I don't know. Again, they just felt very earthly. The way they were dressed, it didn't look Star Wars to me. Maybe it's because I've actually seen them like on screen substantially now for a trailer, and I kind of understand what the vibe of the show is now. Maybe I'm a little bit more excited to maybe see the action figures if in person, and maybe decide to get them if I'd like the show or not. So it seems like from the trailer that's how Wim and Fern kind of run into each other. Wim finds I'm guessing it's a ship that's kind of buried underground at Aden. And the four kids, they go out, they find it. Somehow the ship takes off, and I also like, by the way, the overbearing father character that Wim has. I think it's a very fitting character role. A lot of kids have that parent that seems super overbearing when really they're just trying to keep their children safe. I really like that. So yeah, the kids get blasted off into space, into the unknown regions, or wherever it is that they go. And then they run into Jude Law's character, who I believe, I haven't heard the name pronounced yet, but it is Jod Na Nawwood. Jod Na Nawwood, because I've heard I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. That just kind of rolls off the tongue a little better than some people are saying Jod Na Nawwood. I've been thinking that Jod Na Nawwood is kind of feels more Star Warsy to me. Anyways, aside from that, they run into him. He offers them a way home. It sounds like there's going to be some kind of exchange because he is a pirate, which is, again, it's very, very earthly pirate. The way the blasters are designed, the coat that he has, it's very, very earthly pirate. But I'm not upset about it. His design feels Star Wars, and I think having in the past Hondo Onaka and his whole pirate crew in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, and then we saw different pirates of different species in The Mandalorian Season 3. I think I'm really comfortable now with the pirate look in Star Wars, even though it's very familiar. I still feel like I can get behind it, So they run into Jod, and obviously Jod's got to do something with them. And then we get introduced to the droid character, who almost looks like a KX security droid, which is the type of droid that K2SO is. However, his name is SM-33. He's all disheveled and stuff, and he's some kind of pirate droid. I don't know if he's Jod's kind of right-hand man, or if he's just a character they run into along the way. But then we get some shots with some other pirates and some other things going on. There were a couple things in the trailer that got me a little excited. Now, we see it on the poster too, but I actually noticed it in the trailer first. Shout out to the Max Rebo Experience, also known as Adelphi Rangers, James. He's a good friend in the local area, so what's going on, James? He posted on X, I believe, that there were X-Wings in the trailer, and then I saw the poster, and I saw the X-Wings in the poster as well. I would assume that this is the Adelphi Rangers, which is Carson Teva's group of X-Wing pilots kind of for the New Republic Defense Fleet. And I'm like, cool. I'm all over that. That would be our connecting fabric to kind of weave these characters and their story into the rest of what we've all called as the fandom, the Mandoverse, with all these new shows that are kind of taking place in the the fall of the Empire era with the New Republic and stuff. So I'm all for that. I think that we may also be seeing Hondo Onaka in this show, and here's why. So one, Hondo's definitely alive at this point in the timeline. We know this because of the Galaxy's Edge timeline is set. I think it's between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker is technically where Galaxy's Edge takes place. At the time you go there. I know that there's all different books where they go there in different time periods, like Thrawn alliances and things like that. But there's in this, when you go to Galaxy's Edge and you see Rey and Chewie and you see Hondo, this takes place in between the 1 year gap of the end of Last Jedi and beginning of The Rise of Skywalker. So we know he's alive. We've established that. And there's this one shot of a big cave, and there's this big skull. I think you see it in another shot before. They really have the dwelling shot on it. This skull looks to be a Weequay skull, and the reason I say that is because it's got the horns down on the bottom, the jaw, the mandible here. No other species really has that unique of a design. And I immediately identified it as, that looks like a Weequay skull, and what other Weequay pirate do we know that's super notable other than Hondo Onaka? I would love to see Hondo make an appearance in this show. I don't need him to be a main villain. I don't need him to be a main character at all. Just have him in the show. He'd be super cool. As a kid who grew up with Clone Wars, as someone who loves Rebels, loves seeing Hondo, he's always a hoot. I would love to see Hondo make an appearance in this show. However, I will not, not be disappointed if he's not. But I would like to see him. And again, it would fit the pirates. It's very easy to put Hondo in this show when pirates are a big focus of the show here. And then in the poster here, we have a couple characters. We get one shot. I don't know if this is supposed to be Wim's mom. We also see her in the trailer talking to Wim's dad. And that's the only reason I think maybe she's Wim's mom, is this seeming, I think it's a New Republic senator or delegate or some ambassador something. And she's in there, so she's obviously going to play a role somehow where the New Republic is going to be getting involved again, further connecting and weaving in the X-Wings, making it make a little more sense. And then to the right of Jod, we have on the poster, we saw his action figure, both factory leaked and officially revealed, Pirate Captain Brutus. I wasn't sure if Pirate Captain Brutus was going to be a major player in this show or not. However, it seems to be that he is going to be a main villain in this show. It's great. I love the design. It's an alien very similar to Wolfman, Lax Sivrak from Episode 4 A New Hope in the Cantina scene. You see a couple, werewolf guys. I'm very excited to see this species have a prominent role in a Star Wars project, especially a new one. I think he'll be cool. He's got like 5 blasters. He's all over his body, so that's going to be really cool to see just the design. And I know that maybe a month ago now, I don't remember what magazine it was, my apologies, but there was a magazine that posted about some photos from the set, and one of them was a kind of a wide shot of a bunch of the pirates. And I love it. They all look unique. They all look like they fit into Star Wars. There's lots of aliens. There's lots of cybernetics going on. I love it. I'm here for it, and I hope that it works out. I hope that it, translates into good storytelling, because I gotta say, the show's got me. It looks like fun. I think we all, especially the Star Wars fandom, I think we need some fun right now, guys. I think we need some, not shut your brain off fun, but just lighthearted adventure. Let's just get into something and resolve it right then and there in one season. Bam, done. No drama with Thrawn, no drama with Ahsoka, no drama with Mando. Let's just have an adventure. There's a group of kids. Again, I might just be coming off the high of watching one of my favorite movies of all time, The Goonies, just a few days ago. But I'm in, man. I mean, I'm excited. I'm not like, this is going to be the best show ever. I'm a super fan already. That will come, if at all, with watching the show. If I watch the show and I decide I'm a super fan of it, automatically it's going to be buy all the action figures, get all this, that, and the third. But until then, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic for the show. I'm going to be hopeful that it's a good show. And I'm going to be hopeful that that Star Wars really knocks my socks off with this one. I don't expect it to be anything super profound or super dark or anything like that, and that's fine. I like my Star Wars to be silly and lighthearted, but I'm excited for the show, and thanks to that trailer, you took me from being completely apathetic about Skeleton Crew, and you made me excited for it, and I can't tell you the last time a trailer for a Star Wars project made me just that hyped. I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'm in for a project I knew nothing about. There's no familiarity here. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a good show. I hope. And that's really all I have to say on it. You can check out the trailer on the Star Wars website. You can check out the trailer on the Star Wars YouTube channel as well, all their social media. And then you can also check out the poster on most of their social media and probably StarWars.com as well. After this, it sounds like we're going to maybe one series a year for Star Wars. So the 2025 series is going to be Season 2 of Andor. And then the 2026 is going to be Ahsoka Season 2, which I'm hugely anticipating Ahsoka Season 2. You guys should know that because I love Ahsoka, and I think it's the best live-action Star Wars series we've gotten. And then Andor is going to be great. We're going to be wrapping up Andor, bringing that right into Rogue One. It sounds like no loose threads at the end. Very excited. I really am trying to rack my brain just to make sure I cover all my thoughts on Skeleton Crew. Because again, we don't know much. I don't have any legacy characters to go off of. I don't have any, confirmed character appearances to go off of to kind of, see where this fits in. All we know is that it's in the Mandoverse, and I feel like knowing less is more here. I'm excited to just experience this show authentically and just, really dive into it as a fan of Star Wars and just have a good time. I'm ready to have a good time. I'm ready. I think a lot of Star Wars fans need to remember how to have a good time because I think a lot of us are caught up in negativity and trying to fight a crusade that maybe doesn't even exist. And that's where I'm at. That's Skeleton Crew. If you guys have the ability to comment, let me know how you're feeling about Skeleton Crew as far as the trailer goes. Did this do anything for you? Did this make you feel like you're a little bit more excited for the show? Are you still completely apathetic? Or did it turn you off completely for the show? Any hope that you had for the show being gone now? And if that's the case, what would you have rather seen from Skeleton Crew from an idea like this? What would tickle your fancy a little bit more? Me personally, I can't think of anything I'd want to replace this show with right now. I'm pretty satisfied with just kind of sticking our guns to the Mandoverse and kind of making sure we finish that story out. That's pretty much it, guys. Again, it's a short one. I kind of just wanted to make sure that I covered it. Again, I'm by myself this week. So I just wanted to make sure that I just jumped on for the Blitzcast this week, just real brief, covered the Skeleton Crew trailer and the new poster that dropped. That's pretty much it. We're gonna be coming back at you with another podcast next week, with probably a weekly topic, unless again another big announcement comes out that I kind of just want to dedicate a full podcast episode to. In the meantime, make sure to check out, all the videos that I'm dropping. I dropped one that's getting a bunch of views for some reason right now. I did a video about the irony of the cyclical Star Wars hate. with, most prominently with the new media and the sequel trilogy now, but, kind of looking at where we've come from as a fandom, and is this really so different? The kinds of complaints that we're seeing and things like that. Is it really so different than we saw with the prequel trilogy? Or are we kind of just like going in a circle of insanity here? And, trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And then just reviews. Reviews are coming out all the time. Make sure to keep checking out the reviews if that tickles your fancy, like I said. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got for you. Again, just a brief little episode just talking about the Skeleton Crew trailer and the poster that dropped today. And you can check all that out on Star Wars social media. If you want to talk about it more, join my Discord. All my other social media links are also in the description below. And that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this podcast, guys. I'll catch you for the next one. And may the Force be with you.